friends and fellow crafters and DIYers, welcome to the channel. My name is Yvonne. If you were new here, I love secondhand finds. I absolutely love aged pieces. So in today's video, I am putting some of the kind of worse for wear pieces that a lot of people would have just seen as junk and showing you how to make them into stunning home decor pieces. So I just happened to go to a recent auction where I found some yummies, and I could not wait but to want to share the process of what I did with these.
And yes, they needed to be power washed. They had been in a barn for a long time, and now that they're dry, I can create out of them. So they may have been Pepsi, Coca-Cola. I don't really know about it. There's no advertising on them anymore. So I thought these are perfect decor pieces. Though I love the age of them all. I think they just speak for themselves. I don't see any reason to paint them other than to get those paint splatters off. I would leave them as is. Look at that aged metal. We got some aged metal and we have some rusty, crusty metal. And why not? Why take a little bit of time? And since this did not power wash off, why don't I go ahead and see if I can sand this paint splatter off? What could it hurt? I can, if it makes bare wood or makes a spot that really stands out, I can do something else. But why not take the time? Because it is a little bit distracting from the beauty of the piece. Sometimes it's just hard to tell, so I'm just going to take a little bit of a wet wipe and see what's left. And it's actually sanding off. I'm not going to say easily, but it's sanding off. Since I have the sandpaper out, I'm going to go ahead and go over the entire box. I power washed it so it'll raise the grain of the wood. There are some grabby pieces of the wood that are sticking out, so it's just nice to take a moment and smooth it down. I want to make this into wall decor, so I need something to hang this from. So if you felt these type of boxes, you know they are a little bit on the heavy side. So just drilling a simple picture hanging hook is not going to be strong enough, and my normal window hanging would make it hang away from the wall. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to drill holes from the back to the front to attach a wire that is going to be, I'm going to tighten that wire up so it is laying flat. It's like you want to say, ta-da, look, it hangs on the wall. So I love the rusty, crusty metal accents of this, so I'm going to my stash. If you watch my channel enough, you know I have a stash of rusty, crusty kitchen tools, just odds and ends, salvage pieces. So I'm kind of playing around, sharing my thought process. At first, I'm like, well, that would be a nice focal point, but it's kind of weird. I don't know if it fits. And then I thought, well, maybe this rusty crusty sifter, but it kind of hangs out too far. So, you just kind of have to play with some of the items you have. That's all about decorating. And, you'll know, do I like it? Do I not like it? And then when I started to add the red in there, I'm like, ooh, I like that. I don't even know what that is. A handle to something. But yes, you can tell right away, you get this smile on your face when you're adding pieces in, going, yeah, I'm taking that out. Ooh, I like the red. I know I like the red, even though the box is yellow. Nobody said you have to match yellow. So, yeah, I know that I love these two pieces. So now I'm going back over to my table of goods, and I found this matchbox. Well, it's black. I know. But it doesn't always have to be all the same colors. And I would love that to fit, but it was too tall. So no mashers, not going in there. But look at this little cutie. Oh my gosh, an old child's toy, a little rockin' chicken. We got the red still going on there. And there is a little bit of red on that matchbox. So to tie a little bit more red in, I have some older blocks. So it has the wood theme, that has the red on the blocks. Loving it so far. It's just, I just love sharing my ideas of what to use on these rusty crusties. Yes, my blocks don't always all have to match either. Sometimes you want that variation of height and the variation of visuals, like the different shapes and stuff. As decor goes, I'm loving it, but I need some more height. Something over in the matches holder. So I have some pip berries. You all know I love pip berries, berries, and I will pick them up if they're cheap enough anywhere I am. So now I'm deciding which ones I like. Because I kind of thought, well, these, because the yellow in these pip berry arrangement matches the yellow on the match tin. So I'm like, okay, I think that'll work. So I always like to cut. You can fold them over if you want. I just always end up cutting my extra wires off, to see if I really do love it or not. Well, nope. After putting the two in there, I don't think it does anything for this arrangement. Y'all know it could take me all day to decorate my house. Tell me, are you the same way? Are you able to achieve something in like 5 minutes and love it? Or do you you ponder here and there and you're like, no, I think I like these berries better. Even though I didn't have a lot of this color, I think that I can still make it work, twisting the two pieces together, kind of having them staged out. There's a side little hole on that match tin that I think if I angle it just right, I can get them to stay out. You could put flower foam in, but you'd see it from the bottom, and I just want them to look like they're just randomly there. Still think it needs a wow factor, something that's bold. And these vintage number cards, I know may not look bold, but look at when I put them in there. Hello, they say hello. They are bold. The number does not have to mean anything, y'all. It's just something that with a pop of color, and that aged cream is a pop of color. So I have to tack it in place. I have these number tacks. I don't even really know what they were used for. I'm always excited when I run across them. And I'm closing my eyes and I'm just going to pick one. I'm not going to overthink it. Just something to tack this number with a number tack in this little box. We'll do the same thing with this, even a little bit more yellow box with a different couple colored aged metal. Just give it a quick sanding, just, smooth it down, get anything that could cause a sliver, just sand it down. It only takes a moment to do so. That hanging system that I applied to these boxes, I was worried that maybe it wouldn't be strong enough, but it's a nice strong wire. Pulling it through, twisting it so that the loop is bigger than what the hole is, and tightening them up, making it just a nice tight hanging system, I believe is strong enough for anything that I'm going to put in these boxes. here we go again. We're going to start adding things in, taking things out, changing things. You just know when you know. So right off the bat, I like the grapevine wreath. I think the grapevine brown really pops against that aged wood. I really want to put a sifter in here, but I'm not sure. I still think they're too wide. I love that old vintage bowl stamp with that grapevine wreath. I want to add this salvaged piece in there, but I need to cut this bottom so it will lay off. I love that color palette that's going on. And y'all know I'm kind of a muted. A lot of your age rusty crusties are muted. So I need to go over to my vise and get that tightened in there so I can take the Japanese saw and saw that bottom part off. And my color palette pretty much narrowed down. I have some of these old stamps. Yep, bye-bye to the sifter. It's just not going to work in this little display. So all those colors are tying together. It's funny, once you start finally determine on a piece that you want to keep in there, you kind of then are drawn to looking for the items that you have that match. So now I have this little basket. I need something that I will want to add a pop of color in there. I thought maybe about changing out this wreath for this greenery. It's just so many hard decisions sometimes, but it kind of does make it pop, but it's not tall enough, and I don't really want to glue that in. So grapevine wreath, back you go. But I do want to add some type of a color into that little basket. But before I do that, I remembered the jar of little spools that Chris just got me at an auction, and I thought, oh, there's a little bit lighter color, but the wire on it is in the dark little theme that's going on here, and that will draw in some lighter color to this little display, which I think is perfect. Back to my pipberry stash to determine which one I want to use to add some height in that spot, to add a little bit of pop and color. I think the lighter cream pipberries are too bold. That would be where your eye would draw on, but these nice muted shades will work perfectly. The lighter shade goes well with the spools that I just added in. I got a little pop of green, a little pop of the burgundy. I think it really ties it all in together. I cut the bottom wire off so it fits perfectly in the basket. I luckily have 2 stems of this that I can fill this little basket up with. I don't know about you all, but I'm having so much fun creating them that I decided that I would throw 2 more in here. And I have these boxes that are been in my stash, and who cares that it has a hole? It's the perfectly imperfect. It does not have to be perfect. I love the writing on this, and there again, it's about prunes. You don't have to do, just because it's a prune box doesn't mean you have to put prunes in the inside when you're decorating it. And then this one looks worse for wear, but I love that patina of it all. But the side, somebody painted it red. I know it says nails on it. I'm hoping that I can sand that off a little bit, but I love that pop of red. Just one random side that is red. These as well have already been power washed. They're dried, sanded, anything that might give anybody a sliver. They're just nice boxes. So I want to make sure that my writing is towards the top so you can see the pretties. And then it's a hole. It's just a hole, y'all. So it is what it is. But I want to add the same kind of hanging system. I feel like it is nice and secure on those other boxes, and these boxes are much lighter. So though this box is not as tall as the other, this one is a little bit wider. So I have this old berry scoop, I think is what it is. It's been in my stash for quite a while. I love the red wood of it all. I think that goes well. Then a random, I just thought this was a cute little drawer. I don't know what it went to. Can't really do too much with it, but make it into a decor piece. I think the three colors are playing off beautifully. Then I have a set of 4 spools. So see how I have all, like the darks earlier, I have all these reds or warms. Let's call them warms because I guess they're not reds, but all these warms, this palette is just playing off each other beautifully. So we'll add something light, and then I love these berries that I get from Hobby Lobby in that stem section that they have. I love these. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these stems off, get the tag off, and that'll be that nice pop of that bold pop that this needs. When I cut the stem on this one, I left it longer than the other two so I could add some height. That needed some height to fill in that void. And now to wait for it, to tie in that creamish white of the berries. Yes, I have this little bitty mouse. That really ties this whole thing together, doesn't it? You have all those warm tones, the old box. Oh my goodness. So then I thought, well, I need a little bit of something else that's lighter on the other side. And then I saw this block that was a cat. Hello. I know it's not, like a little figure of a cat, but it's a C and a cat and a mouse. Oh my gosh, way too cute. So let's see if I can just lightly sand that wording of nails off this. Just, if I don't, I don't, but I thought, well, why not give it a try? But look I think it was just maybe with a pencil, so it did sand off. Even though I'm using the same hanging system over again on these boxes, if I do not show it, I will get those comments like, well, how did you hang that last box that you did? So that's why it always gets added to it. So, look at how pretty this box is. And I'm excited because I get to use the sifter finally. This sifter fits in here. I love that pop of red. And if you saw one of my recent hauls on my Journey channel, you know that I got some little bitties. If you do not follow GCR TheJourney, you should. Because yes, I got some little bitty aged aluminum toys with some little bitty oh my gosh, red-handled items that I am so excited to put in this little display. And that masher, I got asked a lot of times if I was selling the masher. So here it is, y'all. And if y'all do not know, a lot of times, most of the time, I will put these type of things that I do over on my eBay up for auction on a 5-day auction. If anybody's interested, pop in the description. Go check it out if you did not already know that. I just happen to have a lot of this color, a lot of this old aluminum that is a little bit shinier, a lot with some red handles. So I'm just playing that first measuring cup was a little the same size as what the sifter was. So I thought, well, that's too big. And adding a wooden red-handled rolling pin will tie into the little red-handled masher. And I'm determined to fit this little chicken cookie cutter in here sometimes. So sometimes you just have to keep playing. You just have to keep figuring out where one thing goes if it doesn't stand up. I was having a hard time. I was having a hard time with the chicken, but I was determined to get that chicken in there. I did think I needed another element, and I was hoping that the chicken cookie cutter would lean against these little vintage blocks. The V means nothing. I just have random old age blocks. So, but nope, that didn't work either. But so, you just keep on playing, just keep on playing. And then I just happened to have two V's. Still, again, they don't mean anything. They're just cute little pieces. So, yeah. So I'm gonna make this chicken stay. That's all there is to it. I'm gonna make this chicken fit in there. I know that in the past I've used hot glue, but I just didn't feel like doing it on this episode. The round biscuit cookie cutter is out. The chicken is in. I think he's gonna have to fit there. I still have to play with him a little bit. I do need one more height in the back, and I do think I have another wooden spool that will tie in there's a little blank space behind where I just put the box. I know I'm such a stinking detailed person, drives me crazy sometimes, but when it's finished, and I just felt that I needed some kind of height, a third element of that wood, just a random spool.
So thank you so much for watching today's video, and what did you think? Do you have any of these boxes just laying around? Even if they're the Pepsi, the Coca-Cola, drilling a hole, putting them as a shelf for wall decor. I always wonder, like, what do people do with these? I'm like, when I saw that and I thought of the cheese boxes, I'm like, yes, this is what I need to do. I need to put all those cute little aged littles and kitchen items and broken down toys that a lot of people would have just thrown away. They have so much history, and just looking at those yummies just, as you can tell, gets me very excited. So thank you for watching today's video, and as always, give me a quick comment with which item I put together was your favorite today, and if you're part of our YouTube family, thank you so much. And if you're new and you're checking out this channel for the first time and you liked what you saw, make sure you hit that subscription button along with the notification bell so you know when we've uploaded a new video, and we will see you next time, guys, and you can see what we're up to. Bye!